Welcome to our October edition of Lake to Lake, a show about our beautiful city here in Bellevue. I'm your host, Michelle DeGrand. Today, we're coming to you from the Bellevue Botanical Garden as we enjoy the remaining fall blooms and crisp air. On this edition of Lake to Lake, you'll also learn about a new art installation here at the garden, honoring a group of creatures who no longer take to the skies, but have important lessons to share. And we'll help you make sense of the dollars and cents in Bellevue's proposed 2025 to 2026 budget. Plus, enjoy highlights from the recent Kelsey Creek Farm Fair. And we'll go out on a limb here and say we bet you'll learn something new in our segment about changes to Bellevue's tree codes. The Bellevue Botanical Garden, 53 acres of curated gardens and natural lands, open daily from dawn to dusk, is one of Bellevue's most popular parks. And as you can see behind me, the garden is now hosting a dramatic art installation. Large-scale bronze sculptures of 5 magnificent but sadly extinct birds. Let's take a tour and learn a little more.
At the Bellevue Botanical Garden, we're really excited to be welcoming the Lost Bird Project. These are 5 sculptures of recently extinct birds, a great way for us to think about what else in our environment we need to preserve and conserve.
By now, we're in the midst of a real extinction crisis. And it's my belief that as a sculptor, the best thing I can do is to create memorials to the birds we've lost. They weigh about 700 to 1,000 pounds each. They're cast bronze, they are hollow, and I want people to appreciate them as art, their form, their shape, the surface. All of those decisions are based on what I feel best memorializes these birds. They don't have every detail, and that's purposeful.
The Bellevue Botanical Garden is such a wonderful place. We're free and open to the public dawn till dusk every day. So we want everybody to feel welcome and come enjoy this exhibit. It will be on display through September 2025, so you have plenty of time.
My hope is that people will experience them as sculpture, and by reflecting that, recognizing and remembering our lost natural history is a really good way to inspire the good work that we need to do to preserve what we have.
We're bringing art here, but it's art with a message. And that's really the core of what we're doing, is enriching our mission, talking about conservation, talking about susceptibility and habitat preservation. It's a wonderful display within the garden, within the changing seasons that we have. So come often, enjoy it, enjoy the gardens.
We hope you get the chance to come out to the garden and see these beautiful birds. Meanwhile, work is currently underway on Bellevue's proposed 2025 to 2026 budget. Public involvement is a key part of our budget process in Bellevue. During September, the city held 3 interactive budget presentations at various community centers, and we're pleased to share a few highlights.
One of the things that really is wonderful about how the City of Bellevue budgets is we are oriented using strategic target areas. So these are the goals, these are broad themes or points of emphasis in how we budget and how we really orient our capital delivery programs as well as our operations. And each one of these strategic target areas has a goal in mind and has associated objectives that really guide and prioritize the work of the city. At a high level, and believe you me, there is a lot more below this slide, but at a very high level, our budget process is as follows. So we get strategic direction from the city manager, in this case, Diane Carlson, early on in the process. So this usually starts in Q4, so the latter end of the prior year, so in our case for this year, in late 2023, and into Q1 of 2024. But the stage we're at now is in the council consideration or council deliberation phase. In July, we had our first public hearing with a final and third public hearing on November 12th of this year. So we do try to get a lot of input throughout the process, and we have 3 public hearings above and beyond what is required by state law to get as much feedback as humanly possible. We have a tentative adoption date for November 19th with a backup date of the 26th, which is right before Thanksgiving. So I think we'd like to try to get it on the 19th if at all possible. And here is the budget 2024 budget survey results specifically as it's tied to priorities. So we asked respondents, out of these 6 statements, what are the things where they would like to prioritize funding? And as you can see, as you're reading through them, they actually very loosely tie to the strategic target areas, and that is deliberate. Because we do want to see, based on the 6 strategic target areas that we have as a city, where do Bellevue residents want their funding to be spent? The highest priority, and again, not by a mile, but still the highest priority is for a resilient and secure place where all people feel safe, valued, and welcome. So this is one of the things that as we are working with staff, we're working with departments and the city's leadership to develop budget proposals that are incorporated in the 25-26 preliminary budget. We are looking at this lens to see where do we want to prioritize our investments as a city and what is proposed to the City Council.
I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the highlights of the investments. One of the things that's important to note in this, as we came into this budget cycle and spoke with council back in July about the forecast, our tax revenues are pretty flat. In fact, they're a little down this year and just starting recovery. So this budget proposal came forward without a whole lot of new and exciting programs. It's got some, but it's really focused on continuing the great work that we started in the last biennium and the things that we've done for quite some time. But it does provide an opportunity to do a few new things. We know that council is considering a comprehensive plan that will likely provide for growth for the city, and doing some municipal planning on how we actually support a city as it grows, as well as building out an accountability or business intelligence team to help make sure that the public understands how we're spending the dollars and how we're doing on our delivery.
We always tell people bellevuewa.gov/budget. That will take you to our preliminary budget page. So this has all the information. We update this on a regular basis, as well as our public involvement page, as you can see at the bottom left of the nav bar there. Again, part of this conversation tonight and what we hope you are getting out of this conversation is being equipped to engage with your representatives on City Council. Public comment, the first 30 minutes of the City Council meetings are available for comment on the budget. Or you could email, again, the technical questions to Finance and Asset Management. That's John and myself at fam@bellevuewa.gov. Or if you've made up your mind, you have your feedback ready to go, feel free to email City Council at council@bellevuewa.gov. For feedback, we're really trying to equip this group and your neighbors and your colleagues to communicate feedback on the 25-26 budget to council. But we really want to provide as many avenues really as possible for us to hear resident and business and other stakeholder feedback throughout the community. So if you have any technical questions, please reach out to FAM. And of course, reach out to your representatives on City Council.
One of the things that makes Bellevue so special is the sheer number of natural areas that can be found right in the heart of Bellevue, including the garden here, but also Kelsey Creek Farm. The annual Kelsey Creek Farm Fair is actually one of the longest running events hosted by the city of Bellevue. For more than 40 years, this event has provided unique and close to home farm experiences for families and community members. If you missed the fair this year, here's a little taste of what the experience is like.
It's a nice place. The community can meet together, have fun. It's always fun to be here. My kids love it.
It's a good turnout for the farm fair. It's on our 42nd year of happening. So it actually started out as a craft fair years ago. And basically it's a variety of activities here at the farm. We go from 11 to 4 and we have honeybees, we've got popcorn and food vendors, and obviously the pony rides are taking place. So it's set up for the public to come and enjoy. We try and keep the cost too low, and we do have to charge on some of the activities, but it's pretty much an event where all family members can come and enjoy themselves.
I think it's a unique fair. We haven't seen a fair like this before. A lot of fun activities for kids around here. We just love the fact that it's a family fair, and I would highly recommend anyone in or around Bellevue to definitely visit this fair. It's totally worth it.
There's a lot of fun things to do. There's a lot of animals to pet, and you can take photos with scarecrows.
It's a beautiful sight. It's got lots of room for people to walk around and enjoy themselves. You can play in the playground, you can go see some Angora goats, you can see all the Kelsey Creek Farm animals, and it's just a really beautiful setting, and it creates wonderful memories. Come out and explore, see what we're all about, and when you come back, we are open 7 days a week. We never shut down, so the farm is always open. The animals go out about 8:30 and start coming in at 3. So come on out to the farm and see what we're all about.
Bellevue's tree canopy is a critical environmental asset and central to the vision of a city in a park. Bellevue's environmental stewardship plan sets tree canopy goals and calls for a comprehensive review of city tree codes. Let's break down the latest updates in these codes so you know what to do to help Bellevue's tree canopy.
I'm Christina Gallant with the City of Bellevue's Development Services Department. I'm here to share some important updates about our new tree codes, which were adopted by the Bellevue City Council in 2024. Trees are a vital part of Bellevue's identity and ecosystem. They improve air quality, provide habitat, manage stormwater runoff, and enhance our community's visual appeal. While young trees can replace those that are removed, it takes many years for them to mature and offer the same benefits as existing trees. The comprehensive set of amendments to Bellevue's Land Use Code and City Code brings significant changes, particularly in how tree removal is regulated. The key updates include a new approach to managing tree removal in development proposals and new permit requirements for removing trees on private property outside of those proposals. We recognize the need to balance tree preservation with new development. That's why the updates to the city's code set minimum tree density requirements for various types of projects, including new buildings, subdivisions, and significant land alterations. This ensures that even as Bellevue grows, we continue to protect our natural environment. For development projects, the new regulations introduce a minimum tree density requirement. This density is calculated using tree credits based on the size of the property and the type of development. Developers can meet this requirement by retaining existing trees, planting new ones, or, if additional planting isn't feasible, by paying a fee per tree credit. Outside of development, removing any significant or landmark tree on private property now requires a permit. New planting requirements apply, especially for non-hazardous tree removal on non-residential properties, and, under certain circumstances, residential properties as well. To make this process more accessible, the city is introducing a new, more affordable clearing and grading permit type, specifically for limited tree removal on residential property. If you're considering removing or pruning a tree on your property, please consult with our land use review team to understand the applicable codes and permits. It's also important to note that it is illegal to remove or top trees on public property without proper authorization. For more information, visit our website at bellevuewa.gov/development-services.
If you'd like more information on those tree code amendments, just click the link in the description box below. That's all for this month's Lake to Lake. If you have any feedback or questions for us, email us anytime at btv@bellevuewa.gov. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you will find the city's latest video news and information. We'll leave you today with some of the sights and sounds of the Bellevue Botanical Garden in fall, a particularly beautiful season here. Be sure and visit if you get the opportunity, as there is always something magical to be found, just like this tiny hobbit home. I'm Michelle DeGrand. From all of us at Bellevue Television, the City of Bellevue, and whoever might be in there, happy fall.